It's insane for me to have in a watch that is $2,700 and still think it's incredible value. But it's not often that I get in a piece that packs in a complication that is often reserved for high horology and is set into a casing that looks like it's straight from one of the minds of an artisan. Let me introduce you to Peacock. Hi guys, my name is Jason and I am your watch guy today. The question that I've always posed of Chinese watchmakers is what could these guys do if they had the budget of a entry-level Swiss brand? An Oris, Tag Heuer, Longines. Well, it turns out that it's an incredible product at an insane price. I've linked Peacock in the description. Let's get into it. This is yet to be released by Peacock and I believe that I am the first person to get hands on with it. This incredible skeleton tourbillon piece has so much to boast. From the incredible stainless steel CNC casing, skeletonized brushed finished dial, carbon fiber bezel ring, to the integrated band and that insane tourbillon complication. The entire design for me gives off an industrial futuristic look. The bezel and crown both have gear-like shaping to them. The screw points in the bezel definitely follows that industrial style, along with that circular brushing. The upper casing has indents to the lug positions which have a bead-blasted finish, accenting the fully brushed finish perfectly well. As that, we have high-polished chamfered edges throughout. I absolutely love the carbon ring between the bezel and the case. I think it's a beautiful little flair of design from them and it definitely adds a little bit of a futuristic touch to the watch. The crown is a simple pull push crown, but it is beautifully designed, it is signed and offers a great level of grip to that hand wound tourbillon movement. It sits between composite crown guards. I think that black accent to the center of the casing is perfect for this watch. Let's talk about those dimensions. I have it at 45.5 millimeters in diameter. It's a pretty slim 11 millimeters thick. Lug to lug, it's 50.7 millimeters. The integrated lugs are 26 millimeters. Obviously, with this integrated band, I doubt you're going to find another band to switch in. The screwed in case back displays this beautiful tourbillon movement, as well as the rest of the workings of the piece. Doesn't matter what angle you look at this movement, it's incredible from all of them. We have the standard information surrounding the outer edge, including the water resistance rating of 50 meters. Exactly what I'd expect for this style of watch. The sapphire crystal has the Peacock print emblazoned on the underside of that crystal. I think it's a really fantastic way to display the logo. It almost gives the effect of it floating above the dial. It also means that the dial isn't obscured by having to incorporate it into it. Speaking of the dial, where do I start on this one? It's layered, it has fantastic skeletonized aspects to it, and it displays this movement beautifully. The bridge at the 6 o'clock suspends that tourbillon complication, which is obviously the greatest aspect to this watch overall. It is absolutely mesmerizing. So much so, I'm going to stop for 10 seconds and let you have a look at it. You know, I'm an absolute sucker for splashes of colour in a dial. This watch has provided exactly that. The brushed steel aspects of the dial are accented beautifully with splashes of pink and purple, which also incorporates into the chaptering of this piece and the minute track. It flows really well and adds to the functionality of the piece, making this much easier to read than many other skeletonized pieces that I have reviewed on the channel. I love the splits in the colour. That addition makes this watch slightly more vibrant and summery to me. We have loomed indices at the 12, 3, 6 and 9, again adding to the legibility of the piece overall. It makes it much easier to read the time at a glance, not something that you always get with this style of watch. The handset, again, is very much in that futuristic style. It is a sword style handset, but it has skeletonized cutaways and a loomed center. I think this individualized handset design definitely works really well with the dial, but also with the overall vibe of the watch. The more you look at this piece, the more features you pick out and start to really enjoy. As well as that, the more you look at it, the more you can appreciate the workmanship that has gone into it. Let's get a look at that lume shot. The lume on this piece is pretty well spread on the indices and the handset. As well as that, we have loomed aspects on the actual dial itself. I think that's a really nice touch that they've added in there. Overall, I couldn't really give this a 10, but I do think it comes pretty high considering the style of the watch. I'd say a 7.5 out of 10 for me. The integrated band on this watch is absolute brilliant quality. It is a rubber band, but it is topped with a suede layer. It is integrated into the watch, but it flows so well with the casing and also flows with the black middle layer of the piece. The stitching to either side colour matches to the pink aspects of the dial. It definitely adds a little bit of expression to the piece overall, and I love that aspect of it. The machinery to the band is pretty impressive too. The clasp is actually a spring-loaded mechanism, really well made, and it even has perlage finishing to the centre of it. The buckle is signed with the Peacock logo, it's well finished, and it has nice touches of chamfered polish to the outer edge of it. Let's get it on wrist and see how it looks. I absolutely adore wearing this watch on wrist. I've shown it off to so many people, and it gives me that opportunity to talk about the tourbillon feature to it. And it really does captivate people when you show it. Obviously, it's not a complication that you see every day. And I think it's one of those complications that really does draw you in to watchmaking and what is possible. I think after seeing this watch, we really need to reevaluate what we think of Chinese brands. If they're capable of this at this type of price level, what else could they possibly do? I just think that overall, it really sets a standard of what can be achieved. The band on it is excessively comfortable. I love that spring-loaded action. It makes it so wearable. I absolutely love this piece. I'll give it to you. It's not a cheap watch. It is pretty expensive in terms of what we look at on the channel. However, I think it's well worth it. In fact, I think it's undervalued. It definitely feels, has the features of, and looks like a luxury timepiece, almost like a high horology piece. I obviously have to give you some downsides, but I'm going to be honest, I don't have many. It's a larger watch than we usually see. However, I'm pretty sure that if you look at many tourbillon pieces, they're around the same type of size. And if it's in my wearable range, it's in plenty of other people's. Not everyone likes a skeletonized watch, I understand that. But for me, the skeletonized aspects to this watch are one of the best features to it. As well as that, it's probably much better than any other that I've featured. Finally, the price. I told you this is a Chinese watchmaker. It's not the type of pricing that we often expect from the Chinese market. However, at $2,700, this watch offers way more than the Swiss market could ever even dream of offering at that price. The closest competitor is around the 20k mark, and that's from Tag Heuer, making this around 10 times cheaper than the alternative. Dare I say it? This is budget high horology watchmaking. Thanks for watching today, guys. I really appreciate it. I also really appreciate Peacock for sending this one in to me before the release. It's an incredible watch, and for what it offers, it's an insane price. I hope this isn't the last that we see of them on the channel. Their website is linked in the description. They offer plenty of other watches, same type of style and different styles. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.